Hello and welcome to the Delicious Recipe here on UPRN. If you're watching later on, this is a pre-record. You can be checking us out on YouTube. That's off of the UFO Paranormal Radio, and the UFO Gods and Extraterrestrials channel for UPRN. That's on YouTube. You can also check us out on the countless other uh, stations and anywhere podcasts are played, iHeart, Spreaker, iCloud, and we are on Rumble there too as well, newly going on to there. I saw that one of the other shows had posted one of their clips, so you could watch that along too if you're watching the video, and anywhere that audio is done only there too as well. We are me and Laura here. Say hi, Laura.
Hi, Laura. Actually, I'm Lorilei, Dell's other half and host of the Angel Rock here on Monday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But also, I want to give a quick little promo here that I have a new show coming on the network on Thursday, starting January 5th, on from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, called The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. And that is with my good friend and amazing medium. He's got a big following on TikTok, David Hansel. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Thanks for having me, Del.
Yes, awesome there. Tonight's episode, I called this one Charcuterie. And if you know what that is, that's usually a little gift basket you get that has meats and cheeses, assorted delights, and sometimes with wine and other refreshments in there. But it's an assortment of many things. And I want to also say we got a new friend there that joined us there, helping with the program there, ones and twos. I haven't come up with the name there yet. I was thinking of something with fire in it because he is
Can't see it.
oh, sorry. Yeah, right here. He ate a Toronto Maple Leafs player. So,
Oh, okay.
but
Where did he
anyways,
come from?
he came from downstairs out of my Christmas boxes there. So along with Hey
Ah,
You and Kitty Pot, something we're gonna have to come up with a name, something with fire in it because he's a snowman, something hot. So we'll leave that up to anybody that's out there to come up with a name. Anyway, so we were looking through since we've been talking about lots of sad things, I guess, in world politics and world news and other things like that. And there's a whole assortment of things. Like here we do on the Delicious Recipe, we throw lots of things in the pot. And because this is December and coming into Christmas, we have next week on the 21st, we have the winter equinox, the halfway between the solstices. And there's a lot of other stories we've done here on the network too about talking about the different iterations of Christmas, where it came from, with stuff like that. And today we're making a fun thing there. We're going to the marketing magical mysteries,
commercialism.
commercialism of Christmas with holiday gifts. And I'll start off with one thing here before we get into the past gifts and present gifts and things they're looking forward to. But we'll get into stuff like popular gifts that were the worst, popular gifts that are through the ages. But I'll ask Laura Lee this first one there. What do you think about gift cards?
I love them. And the reason why I love them is because while I was doing my research for the show, between my pre-recorded podcast I did. So look for that, ladies and gentlemen, with Frank Jacob. It'll be coming up soon, probably over the Christmas holidays. But um, what's the top 5 returned gifts? Believe it or not, the one I saw, the number one was chocolates. And the author put in there, really? And then it was makeup, it was clothes, it was candles. Did I get 5 there? I can't remember what the 5th one was, but they were all things like that. Oh, it was body products being returned.
Really?
Yeah, I was surprised too. But the thing is, right? And lots of people, like, I'm a creator. I tell everybody on my channel I am. And, I follow a lot of YouTubers, never copy people, but look for inspiration, right? When watching their DIY channels. And I can't tell you the amount of people that have picked, like, for video topics to make candles, for example. So here's all these. Obviously, you're not going to return a DIY gift. I guess you could try. But my point is, here's people that think you would think they'd be in the know-how of what people are looking for, that they'd be doing a bit of research. And yet many of the things that people are putting out there, most people are returning to stores if they can, if they've been bought. So
Wow.
with a gift card, what's the
Hmm.
difference between a gift card And we've all seen it. I don't do this to you, but there are lots of people that do. They put hints out about what they want for Christmas, or I remember there was this meme. It was a sort of a hilarious, it wasn't a meme, it was a hilarious video of this woman that constantly kept putting out there she wanted a coffee pot. So she kept saying, honey, look at this coffee pot on page 36 in your favorite flyer, and every chance she had to throw in there about coffee. So what did she end up getting? The moral of the story? Her husband got her a gift card to Starbucks, and she was quite miffed about it because that was not what she wanted. She wanted a coffee maker. But my point is, if somebody knows your favorite store, I don't care if it's $5. You know what? If I'm going to shop there anyways, any little bit's going to help, and then I get what I want.
Yeah, see there that goes into the whole pro and con about gift cards, because there is some good things and bad things. And you just mentioned one thing there, right there, is that the part about, okay, well, coffee pot, coffee, somebody likes coffee, so you give them a gift card, and we'll just use the name that you use there, Starbucks. It could be Tim Hortons, it could be Dunkin' Donuts, it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
But the thing is, was that somebody that's looking for an appliance and you give them something, a card for something they're not going to use, that'd be like giving me a gift card to oh
Sephora, Bath and Body Works.
yeah, something like that, or to like Best Buy. There's nothing there that I really want to buy it there, but if I had something like a Canadian Tire gift card or Home Depot or something like that, there's something I would probably use. And that's where it comes into this part about, would it be be better off just to stick cash in the envelope? Then they can go and split it up in between the stores that you want. That you're not forced to buy from that one store where
oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna go off the one part there, is that some of these gift cards is you have to spend the full amount on the card. There is no money.
And they expire, which I don't agree with.
Correct. Yeah, that's another part there. Yeah, that I started seeing that back when I was living in Toronto with people giving gift cards, and they had expiry dates of like July. Let's say you got it in December, and they were expired the following year in July. I was like, well, it says,
how does it expire?
Right, this is actual money spent for money being used, right?
I know why they do it. I've asked a couple managers at stores, and what they say is a lot of people and a lot of businesses don't run their fiscal year from January to the end of December. They run it from the beginning of April to the end of March 31st. So in part of their budget, their money, their gift cards, everything else, they have put that money will be spent within that fiscal year. So there's no way, now this is what they claim, and they've got it from numerous managers, that there's no way for them to put that money or account for it into the next fiscal year.
Sure,
so
sure there is.
I know there is. I'm just telling you, I've had it from numerous managers or higher ups at businesses. The other thing I want to add about gift cards, though, I agree with you, because that happens, right? People buy gift cards, and exactly some of the things we're going to cover here. But there are services out there that will buy gift cards. Now, you will lose a little bit off of the total value of the card, but they will give you cash for it. So that is an option.
Yeah, I've seen that also with points cards and stuff like that, where they'll go and gather points from different cards and put them onto one thing there. And yeah, you do lose in the transfer of points and what points are actually worth.
They'll give you money though too. They will give you some money.
Yeah, some of them will. There, yeah. I know that was a big thing when I was also living in Toronto there with these points cards. You'd have one from this place and one from another place, and you didn't have enough points to actually get anything, but you could go and amalgamate all of them together to get a whole bunch of points to use for something else.
But I'm talking gift cards, so people know that. So they are available. You will have to look a little bit. It's not too hard, but it doesn't matter where you live. I've seen them in different countries or different places, or there's apps that'll do it, so you can get at least something out of it versus, or a lot of people try and sell them too, like just for what the value of them are online.
So this goes back to my first part there. So cash would be a lot easier than dealing with this whole fiasco of a gift card and dealing with the whole thing of trying to get what you want, transferring over it just becomes more of a job and a chore to this card. Even with gift certificates too. That was another one. There were people I remember getting gift certificates back in the 80s there to like Music City or A&A Records and stuff like that, and you'd get like a $25 gift certificate. but then the thing you wanted to buy was like $37 or something like that, and or it was $20 with tax, and then would never you'd have to go and find these little other things there to go and get up to the $25 because it was
Mhm.
basically forfeit. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's why I get different reactions about people when they get gift cards, and they say they're good and bad, and I guess it depends. Like I guess if somebody really knows you and you do a lot of shopping in certain place, like say a Tim Hortons gift card because you go to Tim Hortons every day or something like that. Not saying I'm promoting Tim Hortons; they are not a sponsor of this
No,
show,
but okay.
but
I was just going to add this. Sorry, I didn't want to lose my train of thought there for a sec. What I was going to say though is I think some of that responsibility, and most of us know who is going to give gift cards. We do. We
mhm.
really do. So the point is, and again, I don't think it's improper because most people that are going to give a gift card are giving it because, they put a bit of effort into it rather than, I think it's six of one, half dozen of another. You either go to the bank and break down the 20s and put them in an envelope, or you go to the store and you buy the gift card. But the thing is, the recipient, if you know you're going to get a gift card, like say
Yep.
grandma's always going to get a gift card, tell her where you'd love to get the gift card from if that's what she wants to do.
Mhm.
And then or like, and again, we're not promoting any specific business, we're just giving examples. Or a place like Amazon, that there's a wide variety of things that somebody could buy there. If you don't know where somebody shops, that you could pretty well find something. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
There's things like that. Yep, that's exactly right. And as we go on with this, with the get off of the gift card, it'll probably pop up again here, anyways, in this show there today. Other things that would be, I guess, unpopular or sort of things you don't like. And you had mentioned a couple of things there in the beginning. Like I didn't understand the whole thing about getting chocolate that'd be
I don't
returned,
either. But some people
but
don't like chocolate. I've never met people till the last decade pretty well. I've met a lot of people that don't like chocolate. I've met people that are allergic to chocolate.
well, I was watching there before the show started. I was watching this video of gifts that people thought were the best, were the worst, and some people, and the way that the host of this show there sort of put it there is that getting socks and underwear and deodorant and shampoo or like a body wash and stuff like that, and some people there is that, yeah, it's sort of a really lame gift. A lot of people think that, but also it's something that you'd use, and it was something that you wouldn't go out and actually buy, right? That so you
I
sort of
think it
expect,
depends
yeah,
where you live. Like if you live on your own and with
yeah,
the price of the way things are going, and you hear me every time I go out to get groceries as of late, of the prices the way they're going. So I think if you live at home and you live with mom and dad, or maybe you're married and your spouse picks these things up for you, it's not a big deal. And yeah, it's pretty imaginative, and it's boring, right? But if you live on your own and say you got to watch pennies or whatever, those are things you don't have to worry about buying.
hmm,
And yeah, people use them. People use them every day.
oh yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
And that's it. That like I'm sort of on the fence about those sort of things. Yes, they're needed, and you always get them, but as a gift, you're saying like that. It sort of goes that, well, that's something I could get any time of the year, right? Like Christmas is supposed to be sort of like I guess sort of a special thing, but I
Well,
guess
what if,
also
oh, go
the
ahead.
the odds and ends and things you sort of are out of. Like I can think about this back before, is that when you're younger and you're going to school, your parents would go out and you get your school clothes for the year, and then Christmas you would get sort of your more extra winter clothes that you didn't need during the fall seasons and stuff like that. I can see where that sort of that thinking goes about giving practical gifts that you would need.
Okay, but okay, I wanted to go back to the cash for a minute too, now that I'm thinking about my own kid. Like there's been things that they've wanted that
Hmm.
you got to order online that I know will probably go on sale after Christmas. So I give them the cash, and because they live on their own, they end up using the cash for something, for a bill or something, versus they're always happy when I order it on my own because they know, like, even though they might have good intentions to go use that money for something, they end up using it for a bill. The same
Mhm.
thing with socks and underwear and all that stuff. Now, let's face it, I bought you like the Toronto Maple Leafs. I got you Toronto Maple Leaf socks one year. I haven't seen them since. You still wear them, or like
Mhm.
deodorant. There's a local business here. I'm going to give it a shout out. They're online, lovelybody.ca. Incredible, incredible, preservative free, amazing products that work. So that's what I'm trying to say. If somebody's going to buy something boring, or maybe like you can't go wrong with underwear, especially guys' underwear right nowadays. If you know what kind of guy likes to wear, buy something funny, or like you like Rick and Morty or whoever,
Yeah.
like buy something imaginative that the person will appreciate rather than, because if you're not going to put thought into a gift, people know it.
Yes, and that comes into this next part because this goes along with this and also goes with Christmases past, staff Christmases. And I remember this is probably back in 1988.
Mm-hmm.
And it was for a company I was working. It doesn't exist anymore. Central News. We delivered magazines to all the places here in Thunder Bay, and I also did an out of town route through Northern Ontario. But they had the staff Christmas party, and the company got donated a bunch of gifts from different businesses in around Thunder Bay and stuff like that. And it was just your name was drawn out of a hat, and then you went up and got the gift and that. And I remember watching this. It says somebody got like an angle grinder, which was really cool. Oh well, this is like good. Like that's like a $50 tool. That's pretty cool. Someone got like a hair blower and
Mm-hmm.
with all the attachments, and it says okay. And then
Mm-hmm.
you could always trade with other people around there. And I remember what I got. I got this little plastic uh, device that you had to get two AA batteries in it, and it was a lint remover for your clothes. I think you get them at the dollar store for like about $2 or something like that at the
Oh
time.
no.
I was looking at this thing. It says a lint remover. I says, "Oh, great!" And I'm looking around at all these other gifts. I says, "Oh, geez, I must have really pissed
The
off the
lump of
bosses this year."
coal, or
It's
the
a lump of coal is actually good because I made this analogy back beforehand. Is when we're getting to this whole part about colder winters and stuff like that, a lump of coal will keep you warm for a few hours than a lint remover.
that was on your bosses though. Like if you're going to
Yeah,
give out gifts and you know what they are and you're giving them out, you need to make sure they're of equal value. You really do. That is not the place that gift
yeah,
giving at a staff party. Even I think it was just luck of the draw for yourself. But what I'm saying
yeah.
is that's not fair. Like if you're having a white elephant, I don't even like that. Like you might get something really cool and you're in a
Mhm.
room full of people, but the rules of the white elephant apparently is people can steal it from you if they like it better than the gift they got. I don't like that.
Oh yeah, because they actually do. I think they did that on the TV show Big Brother, where they go.
Mm-hmm.
The person gets out, they get to pick. They get the first box, and usually it's like a
Mm-hmm.
power of veto or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the next person can take that or keep the gift that they got, and then the next person can steal or whatever, and yeah, take whatever they need. Take the $5,000 cash, and yeah, the white elephant. That's sort of a really interesting one. But actually, there one worked out good for me there when I was working up in Nakina, up in Northern Ontario, working for a lumber mill, and they were given they gave out really good
You
gifts
did.
out of that one. Like there was like hydraulic jacks and
Mm-hmm.
paint sprayers and
Mm-hmm.
like $100 gifts and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I won a barbecue. I won the
Oh,
last gift
nice.
was a propane barbecue with a tank and everything like that, and years worth of propane to fill it for.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a pretty good gift. But that was from a staff party. That was the best one I got. But I've also gotten some pretty bogus gifts and
I've
yeah.
never got any from any employer being a nurse. The
Mhm.
only thing I have ever gotten as a present is Nurses Week. I still get one from my union. Sometimes they do well, most of the times they're a miss, but I do appreciate that they do that. Like last year, I think we got one of those coffee cup warmer holders that say our union and that you're a nurse. I get a little calendar every year, usually in, I think it's September or October. Other than that, I've never gotten a gift from an employer ever. And I've worked a variety of different jobs. So I don't know
Yeah,
why, how, what, but. Mhm.
I got a winter jacket once from one of the companies. I actually still wear it there because it's got all the reflective decals on it for work. Yeah, I've gotten some. The best one I got from there was got a $877 Christmas bonus because the company had made that much
I
money.
remember that. That was our first year together, and I
Yeah,
won't say anything else other than that.
yeah, that was the surprise there too. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was that was good. That came in
Mhm.
right in handy, right between Christmas and New Year's
Mm,
when you got all those things there, and then you have some partying money for New Year's
yeah.
and other things. But some really other interesting gifts, I guess, on the sort of the list. We'll go from the worst to the best. I guess we'll
Okay.
we'll, we'll go there. I'll go to one thing, and then there's another one that I found here. Was from this crazycouponlady.com,
Hmm.
2022, and she had put a list together, and this is in North America, most likely the States. I believe that's where she's from because
Hmm.
all the prices were American.
Yeah.
But these were like 31 hard to find in demand gifts that she had gone out and tried to find these things. And
That's the same list I had, you know?
yeah, so
Yeah.
that's her. But also I have another list that we'll go through at the end here, and that's the top
Hmm.
holiday toys from your age when you were born. And that
Hmm.
was from www.stacker.com, and that was an article done this year, December 5th, 2022, by Jacob Osborne and Peter Richmond. We'll go into that one afterwards, but some worst gifts. We already talked about a couple worst gifts. The chocolate one still sort of boggles the mind on
That's what
that.
the author said, but that you hate white chocolate. What if you
Oh
got
yeah,
white
oh yeah,
chocolate? You hate it. I
yeah,
like it, so I would eat it. You won't. But
yeah.
chocolate in general, but like I said, I couldn't believe that. Like the author went, really? In brackets. But like I said, I have never met so many people as I have in the last 10 years, talking to people from all over the world that
Hmm.
either really don't like chocolate or are allergic to it.
Yeah, and again, this also goes into this whole part about these DIY gifts and these specialty gifts, which I think are sort of interesting because they do open people's mind to something else that they might not have tried before, like organic soap that is
Mm.
made from whatever, and
Yeah,
whatever is cocoa butter and
yeah.
something, or mixed with whatever, or candles or whatever. I guess.
You know what the
I,
problem with the DIY gift is? And this is, I can say this from being a creator myself. If you give that type of gift to somebody that has never created anything by hand, it really doesn't have the meaning I find, unless it's something super amazing that they always wanted.
right.
Versus somebody who creates, for example, knitting. I do knit. Dell didn't think I knew how to knit. I do.
Hmm.
I just don't have the time to sit and knit usually. Okay. But one year for all my friends, I made them. That was back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where ponchos were really big for a couple of years. So what did I do? I hand created and knit them all ponchos, and they had really complicated stitches and patterns and cables. And I had spent months and hours on this. And you know what most of them did? Looked at them and went, "Oh, yeah, that's nice." And the reason why is because they don't do it. So they have
Hmm.
no idea. Plus, you're never going as a creator to get paid for the time that you put into stuff. You
Right.
won't. Hmm.
Yeah, that's sort of the that comes into this whole thing about who is it giving this DIY gift actually sort of ego uh, boosting up there is the person that's making the gift hoping that they're going to get the adulation for this great
That's
gift.
not why I did it for
No,
me,
no,
though.
I'm saying that
Yeah,
there's a line of thinking there, or it's the
I
person
wanted to
saying,
know how
"Oh,
much they meant to me that I
right,
spent this many
right," but
hours. And
that's
mhm.
your
I understand. You're talking in generalities.
right. That's your sort of looking at it there. It says, I've done this, I've spent all this time into this to produce something with my own hands. And
Hmm.
whether or not they use it, like I could even say for in my own family there, my mom's decluttering and she doesn't want
She
anything.
don't want anything. Don't bring it to the camp. Don't bring it. Don't give it to me. Nothing. No. And
Yes.
we respect that. I feel bad, but you
Yeah.
respect it because she's asking that. So
Hmm. Like
yeah, I
I think
respect that.
giving things like if you, I think in extra to giving a gift there is like if you give somebody some homemade soup like some
Yeah.
borscht or some chicken noodle soup, I think that's also a good thing. Just don't make it the only thing, right?
Yeah.
That's
No, but your mom, for example, really appreciates that. And so
yeah.
we will do that. But you know what? I'm going to say also, it gets into that book, The Five Languages of Love. And
Mhm.
like, if you don't know what your love language is, and it sounds really cheesy, but it's true. Like for me, I know it's gifts. I know it is. Like I will hear somebody say something 6 months from before Christmas, and I'll try and tuck that away. I still will
Mhm.
ask the person usually before Christmas or whatever, but I take that very seriously. Whereas somebody else, they hate gift giving, they hate shopping, they hate the whole thing. They do it because they know they got to do it, and they'll hurt the person's feelings if they don't, kind of thing.
Yeah. Well,
So
I'm one person for not liking
I
stores
know,
at all.
I
I
know.
I like to go into a store, get out of the store. I go in to get what I want. I'm not a peruser of shelves. I'm
Unless
not.
it's Canadian Tire or Home Depot.
Yeah, I'll look through those things there because there's
Yeah,
always something new that's come out, but it's
yeah.
something that I need to use. That's
Hmm.
I'm not someone that's going and looking at all the different colors and fabrics in a clothing
I don't
store.
take him shopping, everybody out there, because it is not, I'm not an anxious person, but it is so stressful to have Del go shopping with you. He's got longer legs than I do. I am tall, but Del's tall and lanky, and he's practically running through a store. And I forget three-quarters of what I need to get when I go, and he's in such a hurry to get out. It is so stressful. That's why I just, please just stay home.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at, I already know what I want when I'm going
Hmm.
in there. I'm not looking for something else. Or if I do see something, it's something that says, "Oh, okay, that's interesting." I'm there, saw it, looked at it, 60 seconds, move on. I don't need to go and
But but I'm going to add this quickly. Speaking of gifts, I'm not trying to get off topic because it's not really a gift, but I did take him to, we have a in Canada here called Dollarama, and he hadn't been in there in years. And years ago, it used to be nothing but junk. It got dangerous to be in there because they carry tools, they carry hardware.
yeah.
It was planting season, it was whatever, right? So you realize that that could be worth a trip from time to time, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So
Well, the one that I've been into those bargain basement stores and stuff like that. The big one was when I was in Toronto, Honest Ed's, and
mm-hmm.
that was like a maze of levels and floors and everything. It doesn't exist anymore. There, the Mervishes. I think they both the people are both dead. And I think they sold that. But they used to give away turkeys too in Thanksgiving, and I think they
That
gave
was
away
fun.
yeah, and I think during Christmas time they gave away hams and stuff like that.
That
They
was
gave back, but the Mirvish family was a multi-million-dollar family. They owned the theater, the Mirvish Theater down in Toronto, and they had this thing there, Honest Ads. You remember? I can even remember the commercials that used to go on the local TV there for Honest Ads, and he got all the stuff there from. You remember the show The Liquidator, correct?
yeah.
We used to watch. That was out of British Columbia, and he would go and get storage lockers or buy these things from third world countries and bring them in like mattresses or like boots or all size 5
Yeah.
girls ballerina shoes and
Yeah.
try and resell them. And I guess there's a big thing there. Well, people are always trying to nowadays with the way taxation and the economy, especially here in Canada, but also in the States, there people are trying to save that extra penny. Like there was had the old saying there or whatever, penny for and then you can put in the other word there, Polak. That was the saying back when I was little, or that or any
Penny for
Jewish
your
per
thoughts.
or any Jewish person, if there was a penny on the ground, they would always pick it up because it was always one penny more than what you had, right? And now people are looking at their more and more pinching pennies. I know couponing was a big, huge thing back about 20 years ago,
It is
and
again now.
yeah, and everything comes back again because you're seeing with the way the markets are
Toys
going
are.
and the economy, and you're seeing they abolished bartering. And I was actually just watching something there today. They were talking about how the news was describing Russia and how they were saying that their economy was doing so well. Their middle class is bouncing back and growing. People have stuff, and then this reporter that had gone there had gone to the other areas of Russia, and he's saying that the only people that carried cash were the retired people that got their monthly government check. It says that everybody else was selling stuff like their own homemade moonshine, or they're farming animal
Hmm.
eggs and stuff like that because people didn't have money. But the way that the media uh, portrayed
Portray.
it all sort of really misleading, so you don't get the full story. And we say this all the time: check other news sources, check everything like that, do your own research on this. But as I said at the beginning, marketing and business and corporations really do cater to this time of Christmas, because this is their big orgasm cash flow of money. And we'll see this more when we look at how some of the Christmas presents have changed over the years. But worst gifts, we've already covered a couple of them there. But on this site here, I had to go look it up. That's what I was doing. Is
Okay.
the Dickie Dine show? This is from about 3 years ago, and they had a worst Christmas ever stuff, and they had a bunch of people there call in. So I'm just going to give a couple and see how you feel about these ones here. I wrote a couple of
Okay.
these down. So this guy was in a metal band,
Yeah.
and he wanted they'd have like those studded bracelets and studded neck
Mhm.
collars and that.
Yeah.
So his dad was a bit of a prude, so he went and got him a Christmas gift and he opened it up, and the son looked at it and he goes, "What's this?" And he's looking at it. It was bondage gear, S&M bondage gear.
Was that dry?
He says, "Yeah, the thought was there,
The
but
thought was there. That's
that
right.
leather and studs, but in the wrong places and
Well, he
stuff."
tried. You got to
Yeah,
get, especially if his dad was a prude. That was probably a really big thing to have to go to that kind of store to buy that.
right, exactly.
Hmm.
And I guess another thing that worst gifts, I guess, that would be in there: clothes that don't fit, or a strange color, or a saying, or a logo on there, like getting something that's supposed to say uh, whatever Adidas, but it's spelt wrong, right? Because they got it from some sort of, oh yeah, I know they like that, or
It's
get
a
something.
knockoff store.
so so out of this part with gifts was sort of funny is that this kid this was learning scuba diving, and he was getting into it and doing it with his father and that, and his grandmother was looking had heard about this, said, oh yeah, he was getting into scuba diving, so she went out shopping for a present for her grandson. And when he opened it up, he sees this shirt. There's like a sweatshirt, and it had the scuba diver on it. And then the saying that said on the thing there, "World's greatest muff diver."
But you know what? I
The
guess
thought was
that's
there.
I was just gonna say it. I think that's where the saying, the thought was there. But this goes back to our conversation at the beginning about gift cards versus cash. Nobody, unless you're a real jackass, you're
Mhm.
not going to spend money on somebody. Like this grandma had the best intentions, especially this dad if he was a prude too, right? Best intentions, thinking they're doing a really great thing. They're listening. They've made the effort. It unfortunately just didn't know enough about what the person wanted that they ended up getting these very unusual, unwanted gifts. For example, very quickly, my eldest son put down the one of this particular type of pants. And I could tell from the way he was describing them, I had no clue what he was talking about. Like I'd never seen these, right? So he got in from Toronto. He was at a conference. I pick him up. So I'm at his house and I said, so what are these pants you're talking about? And I looked at them. So now I know what they look like. But had I been out, yeah, I probably would have bought the wrong thing. They almost look like sweatpants, but they're made out of pant material, believe it or not.
Right.
Mhm.
I remember this comes up there lots there from my buddy Willie. And
Yeah.
what it was is back when we were, I don't know, about 16, 17 years old, his
Hmm.
family would put their Christmas lists together, and
Oh, you didn't, his
and they
sister.
and they would go and put it there on the table by the phone in the kitchen. And I saw the one there for his older sister, and she
You're
had stuff like
terrible.
had like the ABBA greatest hits album, some paint brushes because she was an artist and stuff like that. So I wrote at the bottom of it, I said, Metallica Master of Puppets album.
I
And
know this story.
so this is totally different than everything else is
And
on the
didn't they
list.
pick each other's names too? Like
Yeah,
it was, yeah, because it was a large, there's four kids in the family, right?
Yeah, and
Hmm.
so Willie's
Older brother.
older brother had ended up picking his sister, and so he went out and he started looking at this list, and nobody scratched it off. It was there for like weeks before
Hmm.
Christmas, and he even said when he went and bought the album, and had wrapped it up, he says, "Boy, this is sort of a
Odd.
really odd gift request out of here." But he said, "Oh well, she's an artist and she does do tattoos on the side every once in a while. Maybe she's sort of into this." So Christmas morning when they're opening up gifts, because I came over later in the afternoon, I got shit for that there for writing on that on that gift list. She opens up the present and she just look at
Expecting
it
ABBA.
and she's going WT8 or WTF. What?
Metallica. Master of Puppets.
What's this? Like, then
Why would you buy me this?
he says, well, it was on the list. I says, which I did.
What list?
And you could even see like the printing was totally different as well too. So
Yeah,
that was sort of funny. But other gifts that they mentioned on this thing is a gift to really shy away from, and that is small pets and creatures and animals.
I agree.
And thing is, though, is that you give like something like a gerbil or a mouse or a fish. Usually, the shelf life on those things is not very long, and especially during winter time. Up here in Canada, uh,
Don't ever do that. Now,
right?
you're not the animal lover that I am. Okay,
Yeah.
first of all, usually Christmas is a very stressful time. It is. So that's why they tell you don't bring a new puppy, new kitten, new anything into the home. I have brought a dog into my home at Christmas. It couldn't be helped, and it was a puppy. It worked out well. That was Rory. You knew Rory in his later years. He's a little Westie puppy, and he came from out of the city. Somebody drove him up, I think, the day before Christmas Eve, and it worked out well because he was a laid back dog, and the kids were older.
Hmm.
But when you buy somebody a pet, there's so many responsibilities, and I tell parents this. I have two older kids now, and one of them will perpetually be young with autism and stuff. But my point is, when you buy a pet, I don't care what your kids promise you. How many, and I'm sure you've heard this yourself, like there are certain parents that, yes, they will hold their kids to the promise that they
Yep.
will look after it. It usually becomes the parent's responsibility. So it's one more thing that's piled on top. Then you got to get food for it. You got to get water for it. You got to make sure this poor animal is played with because everybody wants something like this. But when the novelty wears off, and it's not an object, it's a living being.
Hmm.
So it's not a good time. Plus, you should discuss that with a parent before you just drop it off. My uncle, you know what he wanted to buy me when I was little, I found out? I was so mad at my mother. I never almost forgave her for
A
years.
pony.
No, he was like my older brother. He's no longer alive. He died of cancer at 27. But he wanted to buy me a mynah bird, like one of those mimicking
Oh
birds.
yeah.
Yeah, he really wanted to buy me one. And I was so angry when I found out my parents wouldn't let me have one. I now
Yeah.
know as an adult why, but back then I didn't.
Oh, birds are a major time investment, and yeah, I tried out which was good, and this is a thing to do. My mom's friend there, she had cockatiels
Hmm.
and or cockatoos or whatever you call them there, and I was looking about getting a bird. I actually eventually got finches, but they didn't last long
Hmm.
because but I had them for says okay, well take these for 2 months
Hmm.
and deal with them, and and it was just too much. As soon as the sun comes up, they're squawking, and you got to cover them over, and you got to do this. You got to let them out, and then the changing and
Yeah, but
everything like
that was
that.
a responsible person with a
Yeah.
pet, knowing, okay, for example, you brought up a good idea. I have some very memorable gifts that I did get over the years,
Hmm.
okay, for Christmas. We had a neighbor that had hamsters, and I
Yeah.
wanted a hamster so badly. So I don't know if they were moving or something was going on. And this was the excuse I was given. And we had to look after this hamster for 2 months. And I did. I looked after this hamster. I adored this hamster. I was heartbroken when the hamster was supposed to go back Christmas Day. The hamster didn't go back Christmas Day. The hamster was mine. But it had shown that, yes, I would be responsible for this animal. And I
Hmm.
was, because it had been at our house for 2 months.
Yeah.
That morning, I'm not a crier. but I was bawling my eyes out. I was so happy. I don't remember anything else I got that year, but that hamster was mine. He went to
Hmm.
school even with me every day.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Awesome. Yeah. So that there's that. Yeah. So pets is a sort of a thing probably to stay away from. And also another part is people that are not really computer savvy or electronic savvy is buying electronic equipment accessories. They're usually not compatible with something that somebody has, unless you are very familiar with the setup that somebody is using. A lot of times you think, oh, this is a good deal. They have an iPhone, but they go and get it, but it's for like an iPhone 7, and you have an iPhone 12, and it's like the charging station doesn't work, or
Yeah.
this little app doesn't is not compatible with the iOS program, or even with the computers and stuff like that. Getting even in computer games too as well. Stuff doesn't you can't go up with them if you have something that's
It's
newer
better
going
just
old.
to stay away from it. Again, that's when you
Yeah,
get into giving just cash or a gift card for something like
correct.
that. Hmm.
Yes. So this things well sort of well, how much time we got here? We're at four. Oh, we got a
Okay.
few time.
Yeah.
Okay. So this crazy coupon lady, we'll go quickly through some of the things that she had here, and this is for 2022, and a lot of these things I've never even heard of. But
I
you,
know what they are.
so I'm gonna give. I got a couple here down here, and these are ones that have sort of been really really hard to find. And she was going through Walmart, Target, and other sort of bargain Walmart. Uh,
I wouldn't call them a bargain, the price of most of these
right, but
things.
they're less than high end places, anyways.
Hmm.
Where majority of North Americans go to these big box stores that are supposed to be geared to being uh, low low prices, better deals.
Hmm.
Okay, so this one here, Magic Mixie's crystal ball with interactive 8-inch blue plush toy.
Hmm.
Okay, this is the average price is about $61 US.
Way more in Canada. I got the first version. It is up in the corner up there. It's a
Yeah.
cauldron. I have not opened it. There's a reason why, because I'm saving it. I'm going to film a video, like to put on
Mhm.
my YouTube channel, about this is based on witchcraft
Okay.
with cutesy stuff and spells and all
Hmm.
kinds of stuff. So it's like marketing witchcraft, and I'm not a prude. I don't have a problem if you're a witch. That's fine, no
Yeah.
problem. But
Oh,
Disney's gone there with you found that show, the owl
yeah. The
something,
Owl House.
the
Yeah.
owl house, and yeah, so that's what this is based on, with adorable little characters that are AI and they're real. They move, they talk,
Hmm.
they interact, whatever. Hmm.
Yeah, that's sort of interesting. Yeah, because this goes into this other part that I mentioned to you just before. A popular gift that was given back in the
Oh
late
yeah.
1800s there. So the two creators of this was Kennard and Riche. Kennard was a coffin maker and Riche was a fertilizer salesman. And they
Hmm.
created the Ouija board in
Hmm.
Baltimore, Maryland back in 19 or 1880. And then by 1886, this oh no, sorry, 1890, and then by 1896, I wrote down 8, but it's
Hmm.
96. Can't go backwards here. This was like all over Ohio, and then it became in 96. This lawyer had or sister that was into who was a medium, and she was using this, and he got the investment in, it, and then it just blew up all over the place. It was all over, and this was like one of the big Christmas gifts to give it during Christmas time was Ouija boards, and you're seeing them more come back into use if you watch. This is a UPRN, United Public Radio Network, that deals with a lot of paranormal and UFO and stuff like that, and a lot of these paranormal channels that you see on YouTube and other platforms. They use these Ouija boards still to contact the
Well,
spirits from beyond.
what
Yeah,
about, speaking of Disney, I used
yeah.
to go down to the Toronto every year or two for shopping, Christmas shopping, and go for a conference.
Hmm.
And the Disney stores there, I can
Yeah.
tell you, probably about 18, 20 years ago, front and center, right at the front of the Disney store, Mickey Mouse was blue, Minnie Mouse was pink. Ouija boards for kids. I kid
Yeah.
you not.
And I've said it many many times on here, and we've said it on your show as well, is that you shouldn't play with the unknowns, things that you are not well versed in, especially if you're dealing which if you believe in this stuff, and I think there is
It's
reason
a
to,
tool. You
yes,
need to be shown how to use it and
right.
how to open and close the session and the whole bit. That's what it is.
Right, and as we throw more things into the pot, there is that whether you believe in the paranormal or witchcraft or any of these things, or uh, believe in religion even too, is that to mess with things that you're not sure of, and that is probably the best way not to do things. That's just my own opinion out of that. Opening up doors to Aleister Crowley stuff and doing things like that, and into the cult of mysticism. There's things that you probably should stay away from. But here, I'll go quickly through a couple of these. We got probably about 10, 12 minutes
Yeah, I
left
know
here.
I'm watching. Yeah,
Okay, Gabby's Dollhouse.
I know what that is.
This is a Netflix character.
Mhm.
$59 US. I don't know what that is.
It's way more, and it is ultra uber popular and so expensive, super expensive up here in Canada.
It looked like it had in there like a bunch of different rooms with other little toys that you could fit into this dollhouse there. So it's like
Kitties.
it's expandable. Okay, this another one here. LOL surprise OMG House
I
of
know what that is.
Surprises. That,
Okay, there's a
that's a
controversy.
dollhouse
Okay,
too.
there's a lot of doll houses. This brand has been very controversial. About a year ago, I believe it was around Christmas last year, parents were discovering these little dolls that are dressed like fashion models with these big heads and big, googly, plumped up lips and whatever. There were some questionable things that were coming out of these dolls, the
Oh, they
noises and
speak?
some. Well, some of them do. Not here, they don't. But I'll see if I can find the video. Maybe we'll be able to post it. But if you look up LOL doll not conspiracy, controversy,
Yep.
there was one that came out that was, I'm positive it was this brand, and it was making sexual noises that
Mm-hmm.
instead of like a giggle or whatever.
Yep.
And it wasn't
Wow.
just one, there were numerous people were finding.
So other ones here, I'm going to go quickly through these ones so I get into these top holiday toys from the past 100+ years. Xbox Series S, $270. Nintendo Switch OLED, $350 US.
Hmm.
The Lego I Am Groot toy, $42 US.
Hmm.
Now here's another one. This besides the part that Disney has been putting out in all these Netflix and that, with all this stuff of paranormal shows, kids witchcraft shows, and there's actually quite a bit of them out there. It's unbelievable, vampires and werewolves and ghosts and stuff like that. E-Kids Encanto karaoke machine.
I know what that is. Yeah.
Okay, so that's about $50. Then you get into this game. I've never heard of this. Throw burrito game. It's a card game, $16, and one that always seems to keep on going through the generations, because this was a top gift. The company the Nerf ball in 1970 was the top gift then, but Nerf is always in here. Nerf Moto Blitz Elite 2.0 Blaster. So a
So
Nerf
is
gun.
Barbie's dream house or camper is on the top gift list on this list too. How long has that been around?
Yeah, and then this other one, Jetson Bolt folding e-bike with twist throttle, $298. That you must have a really wealthy dad to be affording giving you a kid there an e-bike
Yeah.
for Christmas. But as I go into here, we got what do we got there? About less than 10.
This was a cool one. No, this one I wanted to mention on
Okay.
that list. It's called the Star Wars Lola droid toy. That looks pretty cool. Did you
Uh-huh.
see his number 23 on the list?
Yeah, there was a 31 on that list there to go through. I didn't write them all down, but I did a
I have the
few.
list in front of me.
Okay. Okay, so we go over to this other one. So the top holiday toys from the year you were born. This is off of www.stacker.com. And this was done on December 5th, 2022. I said by Jacob Osborne and Peter Richmond. They did the article. So it starts off back in the 1920s. And the first item that was a big Christmas gift was Raggedy Ann. And it sold for $1, but actually
Oh, dear God.
the doll wasn't the main gift. It was the book. The doll came as a supplemental to the
Mhm.
book being sold. So that was the extra add-on. So you would buy the book, and then Raggedy Andy, her partner there. But there's also a lot of stories and sort of conspiracy controversy about the story of Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy, and what the true story of that is. But we'll go through some of these quick things that you probably won't even get anymore. Back in 1923, the AC Gilbert chemistry set.
I've seen one.
Yeah, this is like it had explosives and flammables in this
Yeah.
thing there, and this is what you give for like a 7, 8, 9 year old thing for Christmas. I thought that was good, but
Do you know
things.
who got that? She's got a YouTube channel, Graveyard Girl. She got one. She bought one off of eBay in pristine condition. I believe it was
Wow.
this chemistry set. Yeah.
Wow. So you figure what this sold for back then, it could sell anywhere from $1.50 to $10, depending on how big of a set you got. This is back in 1923. Things like erector sets, that's
Yeah,
like
I saw that.
mechanics and stuff like
Hmm.
that, $1 to $10. And then 1925, the teddy bear, 79 cents.
Oh wow.
Now imagine going and get a plush toy there now, a teddy bear. I think I remember buying a gun for one of my exes there back in, oh geez, the early 90s. And I think that was like $70.
Guns. Yeah, guns with a D are very expensive. Yes.
Yeah, that was just crazy. But like teddy bears, you figure, and they were actually pretty big. 1926 Crayola crayons.
Yeah, they're still super popular.
Yeah, anything with that, with drawing, that you'll see those things come. The radio flyer wagon. That's actually been mentioned in a lot of movies there and stuff. The wagon.
Hmm.
It was actually used in the Little Rascals. If anybody remembers what the Little
I
Rascals
do.
were.
Mhm.
1928, the yo-yo. Now,
Wow.
now I remember back when I was in grade 2 in Mississauga, and we had a yo-yo rep come to the school, and he was selling yo-yos and he's showing how to do walk the dog around the world and
Wow.
TikTok and all that. And this is the salesman just came into the yard of the school, and we're all out on recess or lunch and that, and he's like that, and then he came in and did a demonstration in the gym and says, "Oh yeah," it says, "if you got go home at lunch and get $3 from your mom and dad, and come back and we'll have yo-yos for you to sell or to buy," and a little pamphlet book. And I remember everything that goes around comes around, as it seems to be. I try and skip through some of these. My phone is going so slow. 1930, the Mickey Mouse doll, finger paint, sock monkeys. 1932, wind up toys. That comes into the late 30s. Now you get into where Hollywood and TV start mixing with Christmas. And it sort of happened before. Well, Disney started doing things with Mickey Mouse and that, but Buck Rogers' disintegrator pistol. Now, a
Mhm.
lot of things when it goes with guns, there was a big, huge part in the last few years about removing any type of gun reference, gun thing, anything that was sort of weapons out from Christmas. I think some sort of a religious right group there was into that, and we'll see later on with the BB gun. If anybody remembers the movie A Christmas Carol, you said you never seen that, eh, Laura?
I've seen parts of it, but I've never seen the whole thing. I've tried to watch it, I just couldn't get into it. And I'm sorry to anybody out there that may be their favorite movie, but I've had a hard. I know some of the lines from it though, and the things from it.
Hmm. But do you see how a lot of these things were really basic, like the Shirley Temple doll, 1935? There's another mix with Hollywood, right? These are
Okay, well,
mod.
my year, because we only got a few minutes,
Yeah,
1965, I was pretty bummed out. It was the Frisbee.
yeah. Well, the Daisy rifle, that was 1940, and then you got to figure this is right after the war there too. But think about this one, 1941. Imagine if you opened up your present and you got this little plastic thing in the present, and it was a beach ball. That was the number one present back in 1941.
You know what I
Actually,
said to you though? But things were made to last back then. So I imagine it's not the crap that you would get nowadays, like as a beach ball from the dollar store or something.
yeah. Or getting the big toy in
Bubbles.
1944, Bubbles in a Snoopy Bubbles and a bubble blower.
Hmm.
1945, a Slinky. So we go up to. I'm trying to go fast with this thing, but it's this is my iPhone 5, so it's not moving as fast. But you got into Tonka toys. You said in your year, what did you get?
I said I got a Frisbee. That's how exciting it was.
1950, Magic 8 Ball.
All these things are still around today and anywhere from, double the price to 10 to 100 times the price, depending on when they were made.
Oh yeah, like back in the 50s, there, Silly Putty and Play-Doh. Uh,
Still popular.
oh,
Got
for
less than
sure.
a minute, Del.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna go. This is one that I found was interesting. 1957, estimated retail price 10 cents. Water balloons.
Wow.
And then as we go on there, you'll see anybody can look at this where the merging of Hollywood and that in toys. You got the Star Wars franchise through the 80s. Then you get into the gaming consoles and stuff like that, where you get PlayStation, Nintendo, early 80s or early 90s, or no, early 80s, Ataris. That was sort of the big system before in television, and ColecoVision. And you see now, what's the price of a PlayStation 5? Could you even get one this year?
Pretty difficult. And I believe they start at about $800 up here in Canada plus tax.
Wow, eh?
Hmm.
But the other
I
things that
think
you'll
that's cheap ones.
yeah, you'll see other things that'll come along. You got the Barbie dolls in 1959, Etch a Sketch. A lot of people are out and collecting these old vintage toys, and they actually sell on eBay for quite a bit there. Especially you have the original packaging. Weren't you looking about the guy was selling uh, a PlayStation box? He just didn't have the console. He just had the
Yeah, I'm
box.
looking for a PS4 for my youngest son. He's finally agreed to upgrade because he can't keep getting stuff for the PS3. And they were advertising locally, and I thought he had one for sale. He goes, "No, I just have the box." He goes, "I remember when I was a kid." He goes, "If you get a secondhand PS4, you got to have the box. So if you need the box, I got one here for you." And I thought, well, that was really nice and thoughtful. Hmm.
Awesome. 1968 Hot Wheels. That's where that came out really big. And that actually Hot Wheels is a huge it's like hockey cards, and now you have Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and countless other cards for these card trading games, but they link everything together, and this is the marketing mastery of business there. And why they do this, they have the cartoon, you have the toy, you have the accessories, you have the video game, you have the comic, and they just suck these little kids all into this stuff. And now you have it with this part there with you'll see on Netflix and any of these platform stations there, the way Disney and stuff like that have been really pushing their agenda of wokeism in their cartoons and their young adult TV shows. We've talked about this many
You didn't even
times.
touch on the clothing line. They have that. Everything is marketed with whatever
Oh,
comes out of the latest project.
and then you have the little kids, is that's all they scream about, is that they want, I need to have this. And I remember that whole thing with Tamagotchis and Cabbage Patch Kids. The list goes on and on and on. So we got about a minute left there. Tell them where they can find you there, Laura.
Thanks for having me, Deli. You can find me on Monday nights here right now on UPRN with the Angel Rock 6 to 8 p.m. I will be having returning guests. So far as I know, she was an astrologer, and I remember her last name starts with a C, first name, and it's not coming to me. I'm so sorry, sweetie, because I know who she is, but it's Turner Schott is her last name. And we're going to be talking about symbology and all the symbols that are out there and how to interpret them and what they mean and so on. So thanks for having me.
Awesome there. So we didn't get through everything that we need to.
Carmen Turner Schott, sorry.
Okay. But yeah, there's a lot of things. And like I said, you can check these things out there online if you want to do, and see what was the big gift for yourself there in the year you were born. I said that was off of that
Yeah, put it in the
stacker.com.
comments for you. Yeah, put it in the comments
Yes.
on the show.
And you can check me out here again there next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be the 22nd, the day after the winter equinox, just before Christmas. So if I don't tune in next week, there'll be another Christmas show, Christmassy type thing there. So everybody have a great day, and we'll check you all next week.
See you next week.